The Story of My Life, Chapter 19. I tried my best to hide excitement in me as I ate the delicious meal in front of me. A plate of fried rice, jowl of rice, fried chicken, fried piece of diced plantain, and a cocktail with a slice of cucumber at the rim of the glass up to go. That was I was feeling excitement, all because of food. Jesus, the power of hunger. Mayor, looking at me, I was well organized, eating moderately. I sipped my cocktail and looked around the people at the long dining table as I counted them in my mind. 5. So, newbie, how'd you like the food? I'm Jasper. By the way, the guy at Henry's right hand said, let's get to know each other. He put a spoonful of rice in his mouth through the hole. That was how they were eating. 10. I smelled at Jasper, and it just occurred to me how white his hands were, pink mouth and black eyes. Then I felt the urge to see them all faces. What they all look like. 15. The food is fantastic. I'm enjoying it. Thanks. You're welcome, miss. Just call me Tussin. I pulled a small smile. Tussin what? Henry asked, his voice filled with authority. His voice wasn't friendly at all. He was harsh. I was look at him, speechless. I have the right to know. Actually, a feminine voice spoke out confidently and turned to look at her. She was the last person I counted. I briefly looked away from her to others, then I replied, Jensen, Tussin, 20? I heard someone gasp, then two more. I looked at the three of them. Two were males, one female. In fact, one could have passed the female one for the male if not for her bruise that gave her out. Her body frame was that of a male. What? I was slightly scared them. Knew me from where after hearing my last name. Was it from my area or school? Nah, I doubt it. I couldn't be. If it was, my best friends would have told me about it before. You look pretty, one of the guys that guest said. Thanks, thank you. I stuttered, feeling a little embarrassed. So they only gasped because they look pretty? I firmly smiled at the thought. Sakami, that's my name. Thanks, Sakami. Being pretty wasn't something I paid attention to, like I never cared. It could have been the makeup I was wearing, but little did they know it was on my face for a purpose. What happened to your eye? Henry asked as he took my way for a second and back to his food, half-eaten food. Missed my step and hit my eyes on the staircase. My left eye hit it so badly, unlike my right eye. I said and gazed around. 30. Have you taken anything to suppress the pain? Henry asked, looking straight at me as his chin was resting on his folded hands. He sounded more like someone in his 20s. 30s? Or whatever, but not definitely like someone in his teens. Period. He sounded mature, and I hope he was. I couldn't bear the feeling of having someone young and immature buzzing me around. Yeah, I have used something, thanks. He was caring, or maybe he was only asking out of knowing sake. I avoided his gaze and went back to my food as I looked from to one another, counting them secretly. 40. 40 total gang members were in this room, plus the boss and I. Equaled 42. Wow, this was incredibly insane. The dining table was made for them specifically. How could a table be this long? I took my chicken with my bare hands to eat, ignoring the fork and knife because it was going to slow me down. While chewing, I thought about so many things, and at the moment, I was glad not being able to read what someone was thinking was a great thing, great privilege. The members were already discussing among themselves, and I noticed Henry was still watching me with that curious eyes of his. He looked at me as he knew about my life, knew everything that had been occurring in my life, right from my baby stage to my teenage stage now. Or probably the look also meant he knew me from the beginning of my life, when I was dumb An orphanage, or maybe not. I shifted on a chair as Henry perhaps scanned my life, making me feel uncomfortable under his gaze. I looked at Toyin and saw she was carried away as she was speaking with Jasper. My impression was white even though I couldn't see his entire face. He couldn't be albino. Who knows? What was he doing here in the first place? Who was he? Who were these people? How did they come together? I became so curious that I wanted to know everything and what was up with the knitted mask they were all wearing, aside from Bisol and Tin. Henry cleared his throat and spoke. Let's get this food over with and begin with our new member here. All right? All right, they agreed. Those that wanted to continue eating, continue, and those that were satisfied with whatever, pushed their plate away from their front. But I continued my food till I emptied the white plate. Feel free to call me a glutton. 5 minutes later, the table was cleared by the maids, and the room was silent as he waited for Henry to speak. He pushed a chair back as the noise from the chair echoed in the closed room. He came forward in front and stroked his chin. First of all, Jensen Tassin, we welcome you to this group, Scorpion Group, and your friends who brought you here have explained why you wanted to join. Toyin had lied to Henry that I wanted to join because they had told me about it was she had told me to say this morning. If Henry asked me, it wasn't a complete lie. It was a partly the truth because they did tell me about it, about joining them. Only that they changed their mind, but I had to force them to bring me here. And I want you to know that there is no going back. You have made your decision at the gate. There's no going back. Henry's emphasis in his last statement meant something. And here we will help each other, one another. The purpose of this group is to help. Yeah? We are gangsters, but the good ones. Is there such a thing as good gangsters? We are good people, Tessin. And we can be bad people as well, depending on what the circumstances are. You know what's the Scorpion Group? And you know that scorpions can be deadly. But let me tell you, we can also be deadly bought, depending on the circumstances. I repeat, you might be wondering how we can help each other if we can be deadly also. Henry chuckled and propped on the table looking directly at me. Helping others is the sole purpose of this group, as we help in many ways. Help you deal with people who are taking advantage of you. Bella here, the one sitting beside you. Henry pointed at Bella and turned to her, only for her to give a cold look. Was sexually assaulted by her stepfather on multiple occasions before she was brought here by one of the people. Took her a long time before she spoke up about it. Henry strained and got a message on his phone. Okay, I certainly didn't know where Henry was going with his story he was telling me, but I was at thirst for more. I wanted to know what happened at the end, and I felt nobody cared he was telling me Bella's story. Or did I think she cared? They were all familiar with the story. Back to what I was telling you, one way or the other, we exposed her stepfather, filmed everything he did to her, and got her a lawyer. And now he's in jail for 14 years. And also, she's got a baby girl. Funny? I shook my head and felt sadness sink in the pit of my stomach. Was her situation worse than mine? And she got a baby girl for her stepfather? She should be locked up for life. Thank God she is entirely like me. She looks so much and nothing of her reminds me of my stepfather, Bella said, looking at me. I smiled a little, relieved his daughter, looking like her stepfather. What's her name? Bella? I named her after my name. My mother was Bella too. Was? I was curiously. This was getting interesting. Yeah, was. She's dead. Passed away from agony excessive raping she was getting from his stepfather. Nah, Bella said as she looked at me. A brief smile appeared and disappeared on her face instantly. I'm so sorry. I wasn't the only one abusing this group. It was just a different way. No problem. I'm Bella. I'm Tassin, I replied, and we both smiled at each other. That was fast. You made your first friendship with one of the members earlier than I expected. I restrained. Anyway, Tessin, I only told your Valid start for you to speak up if anything wrong with you. Anything bothering your mind, you better speak up so we can help you. Another thing is there is an opportunity to exhibit your talent, and that is if you have one. Henry, anyone to talk or so Jasperson. Okay then, if you have one, what's yours? It's a way for us to know you're better. Drawing. Drawing? That's nice. There is a drawing room here, and all the materials you need are in the room. I grinned as I couldn't hide the joy I was feeling. This was the best thing I had heard since I got here. I could draw with the one to disturb me, or with labyrinths and nail orders interrupting me, or sudden thoughts of how Mr. Johnson beat up Mom, which would instantly damage my mood to continue drawing. This place was all that I needed. Also, we fight each other's battles, we back each other up, and we carry out assignments. It can be frightening, scary, annoying, against your will, but you have to carry it out, no turning back. The aura of joy that surrounded me quickly departed as I heard what Henry said. Scary? I bit my lower lip and thought I was an idiot not to have expected something like that after all the good things Henry had said. There was no way I wouldn't be killed if I happened to go on any mission with them. I was a chicken. I wasn't bold nor strong or anything. I was just me, and how I was supposed to tell them. I couldn't fight, and that was I wanted out. Could it be possible? Maybe it could. I agreed that my life was miserable, but I didn't think I wanted to die now by endangering my life. Part of me was still hanging in there, with the help of this common saying, when there's life, there's a hope. I looked at Miss Ola for help and recalled Henry's emphasis on not going back once in. I was definitely in for this. Though I might have said carelessly to my besties about taking assignments, sneaking to parties, and dealing with schoolwork as if that was an easy thing as I pictured it at mine. But hearing Henry tell me now, sending a shiver down my spine. Nothing to worry about, Tussin, Jasper said as he smirked at me and I glanced away thinking it was funny again. You have a lot of ponder on, Miss Johnson. You still have a lot to say, so do you that after I've done talking with you? We also help financially. James here, next to Abigail, had a hearing problem after gun battle we went to for a year ago. He was new enough for that. He wouldn't condemn him. Instead, we paid this surgery and now he is fine. The oral surgeon that operated on him is a family member to me, so we don't have to visit the hospital for any treatment. Also, I paid you whatever is due to you. Whatever the mission or assignment you carry out is worth. I pay because you earn it. I don't pay weekly or monthly or whatever. It depends on how much we cash out on each mission. We don't murder. Unnecessarily, we avoid that. If they pull the trigger once, we pull it twice. We can afford to lose anyone because we matter to one another. Tosin, don't be scared. You're shivering. I exhaled and became aware that I was shivering. This talk was scaring me. How many people have they killed? I don't want to be a murderer, I thought. God, I asked for this. If I only could turn back the hands of time to where I was at the gate, I would just tell them I wasn't interested anymore. That was a prank. I asked for this. We'll get used to it, don't worry. I get your back, Jasper said. But I eyed him. You will get to know more of this group as you go with the flow. Any questions? Henry asked. My heart was pounding. I don't think so. It wasn't like I wouldn't have any question if I thought of it. But I couldn't comprehend anything, much less talk. I think we are strong, Tosin. When I first got here and I heard everything Henry and Jasper told me, I collapsed right away. We still managed to stammer. Tosin, nice one. Welcome to the group, discovering group. I'm Nafisat, by the way, and I'm 20 years old. Nafisat pulled her small mouth into a small smile, then murmured she needed to use the restroom and walked out of the dining room. Interesting. Well, Tessie, we wear masks, every one of us, whenever there is a new member because we don't want the person to know what we look like. It's just for a week. It could be uncomfortable though, so you don't have to come to the rest of this week till next Monday, and that's when you get to see our faces. I'm sure you are curious, right? Jasper asked, and I bobbed my head. I only have 5 days before I step my legs here again. I use That chance to run for my life, but I knew they would catch me whenever I go and kill me. They already let me know how they run this business, and we are so cute people. Shut up, Jasper, one of the gang said. What? That is the truth, except if you don't want to admit it yourself. Personally, I'm a cute guy, Justin. I raised my eyebrows as Jasper and I felt like slapping his face with everything I was feeling, but deep down, I thought he was funny. Don't be surprised, Jasper added. I'm not. I don't care if you are cute or not, I said and made the members laugh as they made fun of him. But strangely, I cared. 8 members are absent, Henry said and brought out a card from his back pocket, something that looked like an invitation card. Henry hesitated and returned it. And I'm sure that we are eager to see you as you are. 50 gangsters? How come? Who brought them together? I guess I was the same was I was brought here, telling one another about it. Who could have thought an organization like this was run inside a mansion that no one, the passerby, could ever think? Listen, Tessin, we are gangsters, but the good ones, okay? We operate differently. We're the good guys, alright? Don't be frightened. That's all I have to say for now. Tiny Missile will show you around. You can get to know the newbie. I'm out for my appointment, Jasper. You coming? No, thanks. Wanna get to know this newbie. And they need to stop calling me a newbie. Alright, Happy New Year, everyone. Happy birthday to you, Justin. And with that, Henry walked out without waiting for my reply. Then, one after one, I shook hands with the others as they introduced themselves to me, including telling me their age. It was then that I knew the youngest person in the room was James. He had been in a group since he was 15, but he was 16 now. This a lot. I exhaled loudly and tapped the table when they had the old gun leaving the Solentine in me. And it's a lot taken, but trust me, you will like this, Tane said, and she called into tables to sit next to me. Like what exactly? Fightings, gang, parties, good food, and what exactly? You won't regret it, Miss Ola said, and came to sit next to me. Have you guys? No, we haven't killed anyone, they said in unison. My birthday. I looked at it too. Henry asked for some information about you and I typed it to him. Age, gender, religion, and all that, but nothing yet. About your background? Tyne explained. Please note if you should say anything about my family or anything, understand? If he asks, cook something up. And whenever you fabricate, we share it among one another. Understood? Tyne smiled. Sure, Bisola said. Next, I was shown around the mansion, from the bedchambers to the great hall, grand foyer with twin staircase, the drawing room, the tennis court, the music room, the study, the library room, the game room, and wine cellar, the fitness room, and all that you can find in a mansion. Right after they took me around, I decided it was time to look for more. I hadn't called Mom to check on her or ask if they were celebrating the New Year. And on getting home, I met my mom and siblings in the sitting room sitting together as they watched a Christmas movie. Where have you been? Mom asked. She saw me. With Toyin and Bisola, I said, walking past them. Don't even ascend those stairs. Where exactly did you go with him? Mom, I'm tired already. I just want to rest. I didn't understand why she was acting this way. Okay, fine. Do you mind explaining the makeup and dress? That is so unlike you. Now that explained the way she was acting. I didn't have any makeup kits of my own except for a lip gloss. I licked my lips and thought I should have changed before coming home. Mom, today's my birthday. My friend took me out. I frowned. There was party. The truth. Mom pursed her lips for a while as her expression softened before she came to hug me. Happy birthday. You look pretty, by the way. Thanks. I looked at her pitifully and took in how exhausted she was. Thanks for yesterday. I appreciate it. And with that, I left them looking at me weirdly. Today was a new year, and while everyone was celebrating it with a great feast in their houses or family houses, it didn't feel like it was a new year in my home. It was just filled with sadness and pain.